kuona ukitembea kwa baridi na mvua, ndo maana ndajaribu kile ndaweza. Hizi mashida situzisahau. Juu vile nilikupenda hapo mwanzoni, mpaka saizi ni zaidi. Mashida ni kawaida, haziwezi tuzika, hazitatushinda. Ndio maana mpenzi sibagui, nitakupenda kwa mabaya na kwa mazuri. Ukweli mpenzi sibagui, nitakupenda kwa mabaya na kwa mazuri. Kujitambua ndio ilifanya nikakuchagua, na nikoshua shida zikija ndazitatua mama. Woyo ukitaka maziwa ama halua ndazinunua, na kuletea kasi na fea nitatembea mama. No. Kila kitu ndio upate, hata kama ni machache, ni lazima nijikaze. Nasema tena, kila kitu ndio upate, hata kama ni machache, ni lazima nijikaze. Juu vile nilikupenda hapo mwanzoni, mpaka saizi ni zaidi. Mashida ni kawaida, haziwezi tuzika, haziwezi tushinda. Ndio maana mpenzi sibagui, nitakupenda kwa mabaya na kwa mazuri. Ukweli mpenzi sibagui, nitakupenda kwa mabaya na kwa mazuri. Nasema mpenzi sibagui, no, nitakupenda kwa mabaya na kwa mazuri. No, mpenzi sichagui, nitakupenda kwa mabaya na kwa mazuri. Ndajaribu kile ndaweza, ndio nikuone ukitaba samu.
Music all day, all night, right here on your only station, Pawa Radio.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is Sheversations with your favorite Miss Caroline Murote. Now, today is on a Wednesday, and I hope that you guys are having a good week. It is Katiba week, and I hope that you have been holding our Constitution accountable, our lawmakers, everybody that's supposed to be implementing the things that are supposed to be happening in this nation. Now, I just wanted to talk about money. How are you guys feeling this pay week? If this is pay week for you, if next week is pay week, how are you feeling this pay season? Because our law enforcement officers are having a great time. Everywhere on the road, drivers and makangas are just making it rain. So what do you think about that? Let me know what you think about all these bribes that are being collected on our roads. And you can give us this feedback at Power Radio, that is on Instagram, Power Radio on Facebook, Power Radio on X, and on TikTok. You can also send a DM. So are you somebody who, you're just like, I don't want to have to deal with this, so let me just give this 100 bob, this 50 bob, this 200 bob, this 2,000 shillings? Are you one of those people? Are you one of those people who says the system is broken and there's nothing we can do about it? There's absolutely nothing we can do to fix this. So instead of me wasting my time or being thrown into a cell or having to go and state my case in a court of law and potentially have to pay even more than I should have for the the offense, if any at all, I'm just going to give this small bribe. Tell me, what kind of Kenyan are you? Or are you the I know my rights type of Kenyan? Because our law enforcement officers love, love, love those ones. The minute you say, I know my rights, let me tell you, even if you had a fire extinguisher, your seatbelts are working okay, your tail lights are okay, you have every single piece of equipment, your insurance is up to date, your license is spick and span, they like people like that. They're like, tumempata. Like, this is, you think you know your rights. Law enforcement officers in this country do not like citizens who know their rights. They don't like citizens who insist to be treated according to the law. So is the law in Kenya just a suggestion? Is it just a suggestion, or is it a real thing that at some point we will start taking seriously? So let me know what you think. If you want to reach out to me directly, you can at me at Caroline_Murote. You find that on Instagram, at Caroline Murote on Twitter, and the same case for Facebook. Yeah, so I hope you guys are enjoying Pay Week. I hope you guys are partying responsibly, paying your bills, budgeting, and investing. And speaking of investing, Nairobi News, just clickbait is the order of the day. So the article here that was released on the 24th. This is what they're saying. Why rapper Giuliani doesn't save money. Here at Power Radio, we love ourselves some Giuliani. And then this article just caught my eye, like why rapper Giuliani doesn't save money. And then going ahead to actually dive into this article, I realized that no, actually, he says that he invests his money as opposed to saving it, as opposed to just putting it away for it to stay there. He prefers to save it back. To invest it back into his art, into his music, and just finance projects that actually add value to his life. So the most interesting thing about this article wasn't even what it said. It was just the clickbait. And content creators, you guys need to be called to order. But I guess it worked, right? That's the whole point of clickbait, is that I clicked on it because now I want to know why Giuliani doesn't save, only to realize that he didn't actually say he doesn't save. He says that he prefers to invest, which investment is a form of saving because you're putting money somewhere as opposed to just spending it. You're putting money into future use. So that's money that you're going to have for the future. And technically, that is saving. So while we're reflecting on the kind of saving or spending or investments we are going to be doing in the next couple of weeks when people's monies, when after the taxes are gone, and then, what you're going to do with your monies, we are going to be listening to Kizenda by Brocode.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Nimekupata wewe, dawa yangu ya roho mama, na nisijechelewa kuzikiri hisia. Kweli nimetembea panda shuka za dunia, lakini karejea na mahaba kapokea. Nilikupenda kweli mimi na mapenzi bado yapo, nikakutwika mzigo hata na ukavumilia bila mada, na kupenda kila saa. Ningependa angalau nikwambie wewe, na sasa tumeconnect Kizenda, no cap na kupenda, na chochote nitatenda, kutenda na kupenda. Na sasa tumeconnect Kizenda, no cap na kupenda, na chochote nitatenda, kutenda na kupenda. Skiza story kabla judge book, easy my body, easy how I look. Tuliza mori cause the ground shook. Well fell from heaven with a bright look. Na unajua ni wewe na waza mama, na unajua ni wewe usiku mchana. Na sasa tumeconnect Kizenda, no cap na kupenda, na chochote nitatenda, kutenda na kupenda. Na sasa tumeconnect Kizenda, no cap na kupenda, na chochote nitatenda, kutenda nakupenda.
Nieleze, pambana na maisha we, na bado unanichanganya changanya. Nikaimba nieleze, pambana na maisha we, na bado unanichanganya changanya.
Nasa tumeconnect kizenda, no cap nakupenda, na chochote nitatenda, kutenda nakupenda. Nasa tumeconnect kizenda, no cap nakupenda, na chochote nitatenda, kutenda nakupenda.
Nikaimba nieleze, pambana na maisha we, na unanichanganya changanya.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night.
That's what he said to me. Rudi nyumbani, doesn't matter what you did. Shoka Moshe, that's what he said to me. Rudi nyumbani, doesn't matter what you did. What you did.
to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Already. So that was Soka Musie. Because where are people going? Why do you leave somebody who loves you? What is the reason? Are we running away from toxic relationships? Do we want better for ourselves? Is the grass greener elsewhere? So what's going on? Yeah, so Stacy Kamatu was just saying, please come back home, babe. I love you, I love you, I love you. And then Bro Code was like Kizenda, you know. So what's going on? We just talked about savings. We talked about doing pay week, pay season responsibly. And speaking of which, again, still on Nairobi News, we have just Ivy who shared an interesting story. This was on the 26th, so a couple of days ago. And this article that was published by Cinda Matiko says how parting got just Ivy fired from her high-paying job. So she says that she was just, new from campus and she was a marketing manager at Farmer's Choice. I say manyama manyama, my smokies, my sausages, the chickens. Yeah, that's the biggest meat. Is it meat processing company in Kenya? I think, if I'm lying, please don't come for me. And she said that she had a job that was paying her 50 to 60 Kenyan shillings. She was driving her mom's car, her parents' car, and the company was fueling her car. So she said that at that level, when she's staying at home, she didn't have much financial responsibility. And as a result, she had a lot to spend. And so she was excited and literally just dived into a party lifestyle. And she says that shortly after that, she was fired. She was forced to resign because she had already received a warning letter. And then her ex-boyfriend, the boyfriend at the time, was like, yo, let's go party. And she found herself needing to be in at work at 5 a.m. But 4 a.m. she was still clubbing. She was still having a good old time. And unfortunately, she found herself in a car accident. And then she was not able to make it to work. And because the company had already seen her, is it Biazake? Like, oh no, this girl really be having the time of her lives on our company time. They're like, see you later, babes. Don't come back. And that's how she lost her job. And she says that she really regrets it. And Just Ivy is one of the most prominent finances influencers and I want to say expert at this point on Instagram. She's one of the women who, if you're on social media, you see her putting out really great content with regards to finances, organizing yourself, investment opportunities, finance laws, and just business and finances is kind of her niche. And I love that she's able to share, this where she came from. There's a started from the bottom, now we're here. And it just goes to say that if you come from a space where you were not doing the best, you were not doing great in terms of managing your finances, there's an opportunity for you to do better. And whatever it is that you're experiencing now could be one of your, in quote, testimonies. It could be one of your testimonies. And you'll be like, hey, I used to really mess up. I used to squander all my money and now I know better than God. So let's not get to the point where we have to lose jobs, where we have to be fired, we have to be let go or forced to resign in order for us to learn our lessons. Because I believe that those that have gone ahead and are sharing their stories are doing so that we can learn from their lessons, so that our lessons look different and we make better mistakes, more informed mistakes, with less risk and less negative consequences already. So that's what's been happening out there. So this week we are discussing matters Katiba, but particularly I just want to touch on the money side of things because that is such a sensitive topic in our growing economy. Again, we are never not going to mention Mandamano season, and the reason why we were out there in the streets is because of the financial state of our country. So it wasn't just about the legality of the situation. It wasn't just about we don't like this. It was about that law, the finance bill, hitting Kenyans' pockets where it hurts the most. And where we have a majority of our country being a low income country, just low earners, a lot of people, a big part of the population living hand to mouth, finances is not something we can't not talk about. Do you understand? So I hope that you guys are enjoying the show. Let us know. Let me know how your Wednesday is taking you, and I hope it's going great. And on that note, we are going to hear "Sawa Sawa" by Cheru.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Floating away when the war is okay. I felt this feeling inside that we finally made it. Yeah, we finally made it out alive. Ooh, the sun came out this morning, and I hear the birds are calling. Can you feel the glory coming? Ooh, sawa sawa, sawa sawa. Fucking feeling like you're behind everyone in everything. You got this hold on to your life. Everyone you need are on your side, and with time you will see we'll be fine. Ooh, the sun came out this morning, and I hear the birds are calling. Can you feel the glory coming? Ooh, the sun came out this morning, and I hear the birds are calling. Can you feel it coming? Don't you worry, takuwa sawa, sawa sawa, sawa sawa. Don't you worry, takuwa sawa. Don't you worry, sawa sawa, sawa sawa. Don't you worry, takuwa sawa, sawa sawa, sawa sawa. Don't you worry, takuwa sawa, sawa sawa, sawa
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
So that was Sawa Sawa by Cheru, and everything's gonna be all right. Everything is gonna be sour. The time is 31 minutes past 11. It's 29 minutes to 12, if you will. We have an hour and a half of Sheversations to have beautiful conversations where we're amplifying the female voice. Now, internationally, what's going on? So I'm just gonna keep giving updates because this has been one of my favorite stories this August. So remember Chidima Adechina? Do we remember her? We don't know which nationality at this point, but the Nigerian Mozambican lady who was in South Africa, vying for the South Africa Miss Universe South Africa. So they rejected her based on her identity. She is not legally South African. But before anybody could say anything, she is now in Nigeria contesting for the Miss Nigeria competition. Now, the thing that riled me up is the South Africans are crazy because they've been commenting on all the social media posts that the Miss Universe page or Chidima herself have been putting up. And this is what they've been saying. They've been saying, girl, come back home. You're looking kind of crusty. You're looking kind of, and honestly, the classism that was going on in those comment sections is just enough to make poor people cry. Because what's going on is that they're saying that, oh, maybe it's the lighting, or is it just the poverty that's making all your photos look so bad now that you're contesting from Nigeria? And so this is what they're doing. They've taken the Miss South Africa, Miss Universe South Africa platform photos, the stage, everything, and then they're putting a side-by-side comparison with photos from the Nigerian process, the competition process. And they're saying, honestly, it's not giving. And I feel like it's a little bit embarrassing because the state at which our colonial masters left us in is just us scrambling and fighting each other as Africans. And as a Kenyan who deeply loves those two countries, I've been experiencing secondhand embarrassment, because tell me why South Africans, you refused this lady based on very valid issues that, legally her mom stole somebody's identity, a child who has not had an identity because you did steal her identification number, her identification details. Granted, Chidima might not have done this herself, but she benefited as a result of this. And at some point she was old enough to realize, something is weird, and she could have done something about it, but instead she did choose to go onto an international platform and live her best life, not remembering the issues and the legality of her identity. Now, the South African said, no, this girl does not represent us. She does not stand for us. And so she said, already, I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna head out. And she went over to Nigeria and she's like, what's up, homies? Now it's you and me. I'm Nigerian now, so let's do this. And so now what's the issue? I don't understand what South Africans want. Now they're telling her to go back home. And as a continent, guys, we need to be soaked in rice. We need to be soaked in coconut water, coconut oil, to remove all of this ridiculousness that we have. Because this might sound like just another trivial story that's out there in the blogs, but it does speak to a lot of our mentalities that we have about one another as African countries. And I strongly believe that South Africa and Nigeria are the most influential countries in Africa as far as social media and a lot of content, the economy as well. They just really get proper gateway countries to really know what's going on in Africa. Like Nigeria and South Africa are always going to be there on the list. And as an African who believes strongly in the power of Ubuntu, being together, being one, being united, I don't understand why this is how we represent ourselves. There are so many issues that we could be solving. Genuinely, there are so many things to address. But instead, we choose to fight on social media and harass people on social media, as opposed to, spreading positivity. So if you're a beauty queen out there, if you're, you're a trip out there, you're on the Twitter streets, the X streets, and you feel like sharing your opinion, ask yourself, in Kiswahili, hii kitu inanihusu aje na inasaidia nani? And for our internationals, is this thing helpful? Is it beneficial? Is it actually helping us become a better continent? Or am I just adding to the brain rot? So imagine, guys, let's do better. And on that note, we're going to listen to Haiwahusu by Israel Onyach, because honestly, it's vitu hazituhusu.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio. Sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio. Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio. Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Changamoto tunazo nyingi, si rahisi. Furaha yetu yawahuzunisha, yawahangaisha, mnanungunika. Kwani tunakosa gani? Kupenda tangu lini kawa dhambi, na yetu si haramu ni halali. nina maswali siamini. Ndugu zanguni hampendezwi na furaha yangu. Mnachopenda ni fununu nyinyi, mbona mnanikemea nikimbusu mimi? Mnieleze shida yenu nini? Haiwahusu nani? Mina mpenzi wangu tutafika mbali, liwe liwalo si hatusimami. Mkipanga njama na sisi tutapangua juu. Haiwahusu mpenzi, maneno yao haiwezi tuweka chini. Wakija na silaha tutapambana nao. Siendi popote, misitakuacha kamwe. Ni mimi na wewe, penzi haiwahusu. Wenye wivu mtukome, mliokosa washikaji njooni muone vile penzi letu imejipa na nimeshiba. Nilipata kitu bora vile nilikupata, my lover, nakutaka till forever. It's you and me, no one could ever take your place. Mnachopenda ni fununu nyinyi, mbona mnanikemea nikimbusu mimi? Mnieleze shida yenu nini? Haiwahusu nani? Mina mpenzi wangu tutafika mbali, liwe liwalo si hatusimami. Mkipanga njama na sisi tutapangua juu. Hewa maneno yao haiwezi tuweka chini. Wakija na silaha tutapambana nao. Siendi popote, misitakuacha kamwe. Ni mimi na wewe. Maneno yao haiwezi tuweka chini. Wakija na silaha tutapambana nao. Siendi popote, misitakuacha kamwe. Ni mimi na wewe, penzi haiwahusu. Ni mimi na wewe, ni mimi na wewe tu, ni mimi na wewe tu mpenzi.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Have you seen that girl? I've seen that girl before. You can see it in her motions, yeah, she knows. Got her mind together, she can take it slow. Take it slow. If you ain't seen me lately, don't you worry, 'cause you see, I realized the secret to my worth. Whatever happens, I'll put me first. Put me first. I've never seen you glow up like this before, yeah. I'm taking a back. Oh, you know there's moments I wish I could go back and tell you that, yeah. Tell you I need time to know you. Tell you I've been trying to show you how far this thing could go if we just hold space for love in a higher plane. I love you, by the way. See, we all bleed the same hole. Yeah. I never seen you glow up like this before, yeah. I'm taking it back, oh hold up, let me explore, yeah. Yeah, I never seen you glow up like this before, yeah. You're taking me back, oh baby, I'd like to know ya. I never seen you glow up like this before, yeah. I'm taking it back, hold up, let me explore ya. Yeah, I never seen you glow up like this before, yeah. You're taking me back, yeah, baby, I'd like to know ya. Say now, put me on your level. We could be forever. Light the shines together, together. Hey now, you could be my neighbor. Only we can save us. Sister love forever, forever. Say now, put me on your level. We could be forever. Light the shines together, together. Hey now, you could be my neighbor. Only we can save us. Sister love forever, forever. Say now, put me on your level. We could be forever. Let the shines together, together.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
So you have just listened to Glow Up by Miss Karun, and right before that we had Haiwa Husu by Israel Onyach. Yeah, guys, let's keep our noses out of people's business. You know, kama mapenzi si relationship si yenu, achaneni nayo. Like unless somebody's being battered to death. But actually, I chimed in like no. I overheard. I was eavesdropping on a conversation where there was a bunch of like 3 or 4 ladies discussing, and they said that even if somebody's dying in the relationship, where's the advice a woman who's in love? So is this true? Is it true that you cannot advise a woman who's in love that she will always go back to her toxic relationship, and that you shouldn't even waste effort, waste time trying to save this human, because she'll come and complain and then they're gonna make up and then now they'll hate you together and you're left with all the trauma. You're left hating the partner while this lady has moved on. Is this how we are as women? Because if that's the case, we need to do better. Fix it, Lord, fix it. Yeah. So 11:46, 14 minutes to 12. We are celebrating our Woman Crush Wednesday. And our Woman Crush Wednesday for today is the one, the only Murote drama queen. So she is somebody that every single Kenyan should know, honestly. And if you don't know Murote drama queen, I don't know what you're actually doing with your life. I don't know what you're doing with your life if you actually do listen to music and you actually appreciate local Kenyan music, or, you know, why so local in Kenyan? Kizungu itatumaliza. So Murote drama queen, she is known as MDQ. She is a musician, obviously. She is a rapper, a singer, and a drummer. And she focuses on so many different genres that she blends. And she vibes with hip hop, with a reggae and dance hall, with a neo soul, or the blues and Afro fusion. And the thing that she's most known for, or the thing that like brought her into the spotlight, is just her energetic performances as well as her powerful lyrics. She's one of the women in Kenya that you can always be sure that she's gonna have beautiful stage presence. So where is she from? She was born in Nairobi, Kenya. She considers herself a Nairobi girl, a Nairobian, an urban girl, names Chana Wama Uber na KFC. So if she was Gen Z, she would be, out there like inhaling pink and green and mint flavored tear gas. Her name is Modoni Donga, but we like to call her MDQ because it just, it has a flair. It has a flair. So as a child, she developed an interest in music and performance. And then later on, she pursued this passion by getting into the Nairobi music scene. So how did she get her name, Modoni Drama Queen? So if you're wondering, this came from her love for drumming. So she is a drummer, as we've already said, and she basically decided that this is gonna be my thing, and this is how I want to be known. And also, she's known as for her role as a female artist who's really shining within a male-dominated drumming scene or drumming domain. So according to her, she has spent quite a number of years really trying to figure out how to utilize the ethnic drums of the Luo, the Luya, and the Giriama communities. And she decided that would be the base of her sound. So she decided to do research. She decided to infuse the sounds, this traditional ethnic sounds, from these different communities into her sound. So we're going to dive into her career right after we listen to this feature that she shares with Polaris as well as Mayonde, and this is Energy.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station.
Maisha ina stress but sitachoka, manake mimi staya mimi nyota, Mungu peke ndio mimi nitaogopa. Get back cause una choma 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 choma, daily na meremeta, form yangu ni kutesa, usikol kama si pesa, bade na chipeleka, nina selela, dombola, mande mana lose composure, we catch flies, now feelings, leo tuna dance for ceiling, don't waste my time, don't miss my energy, don't kill my vibe, don't mess my energy, let's take a ride, just fly around with me, let's spend some time, just spend some time with me.
Feeling important, feeling like something is coming all over me. Feel like a soldier, feel like I'm going to war with the enemy. I've gotten older, I'm very comfortable with my identity. It's never over, I'm ready, I'm willing, I'm willing. I'm feeling hypnotized, I'm feeling like a child. I need to realize, I'm feeling so alive. I take off my disguise, and I get myself the prize. I don't mean to be shy, all I can do is try. Don't waste my time, don't miss my energy, don't kill my vibe, don't mess my energy, let's take a ride, just fly around with me, let's spend some time, just spend some time with me.
Some people search and seek until they find the light. Some people think that everything they think is right. Some people don't believe in peace, they want to fight. Some people not my type, some people not the vibe. Shangilia, pango yote imepangiliwa, shida yetu yote tatuliwa, maisha yetu imebarikiwa. Shangilia, pango yote imepangiliwa, shida yetu yote tatuliwa, maisha yetu imebarikiwa.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
So that was the beautiful sound of Energy. So that was Polaris Pauline, that was Modoni Drama Queen, and Mayonde. So speaking of Modoni the Drama Queen, we are celebrating her. She is our woman crush for this Wednesday. And so when did she start vibing? So her first release that we know about is in 2009, and her album, which was her first album, is entitled The Human Condition. And then later on in 2014, she released her second album, which was self-titled MDQ, which, you know, to note, has singles like The Kenyan Message, right? And this album garnered widespread acclaim. And then moving on from there, she had her third album, which is titled She. And this was released in 2018. Now, this beautiful album, She, is a very interesting in that Modoni she's a feminist, and she's somebody who really believes in empowering women and being empowered herself. So in this particular She album, she tells the stories of 11 different women who are going through different moments of their lives, and are they all making decisions and choosing to love themselves, choosing to better themselves, and choosing to be their own heroes. And this is the kind of message that Modoni is about. And she's very, very, very intentional in infusing this in her music. She believes that women are nuanced beings with agency to make decisions over their own lives. And she aims to create a present imagery, you know, like, I am currently a boss lady. I exist right now, because she said that that's not something that she saw growing up. So she wants to create this imagery of a boss lady and a queen in a male dominated African urban hip hop scene, because something about the hip hop scene, it is very male dominated. It is very, just curated towards the male gaze, just the over sexualization of women. And she says that she would like to change that. And as part of her really long and beautiful CV, throughout her career, she has collaborated with local and international artists, and she has produced music that goes across several genres. Now, when it comes to live performances, Modoni, the drama queen, is one of those queens that you can always rely on to bring the house down. So she is known for delivering high energy performances that showcase her musical talent, as well as her charisma on stage. And the performances have really contributed to solidifying her status as an influential figure in the Kenyan musical industry. Now, this queen, is not all about the music, just the music. It doesn't end there. She doesn't just, shout relevant causes out in her music. She's also an activist. She's an entrepreneur as well. And so she has been involved actively in advocating for social change through different initiatives. So some of this include addressing gender issues, and she has been talking about gender equality, so basically speaking out against gender inequality and youth empowerment. And her aim while doing this is to unlearn internalized patriarchy and to also learn the feminist theories, as well as to practice those on a daily basis and to have those in her music. So Modani the drama queen is really, 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 really displeased with how hypersexual the music industry is. And she says that a lot of this is created for the male gaze, and a lot of it is performative femininity, that if you're going to be a woman, you need to show this, that in order for you to be considered relevant. And she disagrees with the idea of female sexuality being commodified to gratify men. And she realized that often whatever is considered beauty in the music industry is actually weaponized against other women who fall short of said standards. So generally, if a woman doesn't have the hypersexualized look, she's generally denied access and support in the music industry, especially when it comes to climbing up the ranks, being considered as talented, being considered as relevant. So this is something that MDQ feels really, really, really deeply about. And we're going to go on talking about the beautiful work that she's been doing. But before we do that, we're going to listen to Susie Nomer. So this is by her collaborating with the producers GR and Hook.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Sitting at the corner, me and Susie Norma. We ain't got no worries, we are looking like the owners. Sipping on Coronas, looking at the phone. All them pretty boys, come and tell us how they want us. Come on, Boni Kungoja, Aki Utangoja. Sinaga my time, Saku waiting na be oja. Planning how we want to take over the walks. Riding on the drums and the clap and the bass goes boom. Shake it down like that. We tell you, simmer. Shake it down like that. We tell you, simmer. If you really know it and you really wanna show it, be the way to go. Go and grab somebody, move your body, show somebody, be the way to go. On this I know, all this I know, all this I know. On this I know, all this I know, all this I know. I'm in at the corner, me and Susie Norma. We ain't got no money, but we do it how we wanna. Minting our nails, checking our mails. All them pretty boys wanna have us, but they feel Kim Tangoya, Leon Tangoya, Sai to Coax, Sakunaga Zavioya. Running how we want to, take over the waltz. Riding on the drum and the clap while the bass goes boom. Shake it down like that. We tell you, simmer. Shake it down like that. We tell you, simmer. If you really know it and you really wanna show it, be the way to go. Go and grab somebody, move your body, show somebody, be the way to go. On this I know, all this I know, all this I know. On this I know, all this I know, all this I know. Now your wine, your waist, comme ça. And now you screw your face, comme ça. Exaggerate the waist, comme ça. Resuscitate the place, comme ça. Pawa le waka 50-50, comme si, comme ça. Now I le waka 50 PSC, comme ça. Tuko tu, sa mdogo yani, comme ça. Hallelujah, what you may even design, comme ça. If you really know it and you really wanna show it, be the way to go. Go and grab somebody, move your body, show somebody, be the way to go. On this I know, all this I know, all this I know. On this I know, all this I know, all this I know.
To sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
How the party I look, sir. How the party I look, sir. Look so good in my dress. See you wanna look, sir. Sipping on elixir. Spin me, yeah. DJ on a mixer. Nah, watch how we murder them like rah. We come so far, praise to the most high. Kumbaya, hit the moto. Nairobi to Lesotho. Act like you know, see me on the dance floor. I'm feeling it, you feeling it, nah. I'm feeling it, you feeling it, nah. 'Cause we on fire, DJs fuck up the lighter, music taking me higher. I'm feeling it, you feeling it.
Nimetulia kwa kalamari kwa bahari, kijana machachari tena hodari. Kama vitu ni kali hakuna swali, vitu nafanya ili nipate mali. Mbwa akikimbiza mkia atasikia dizi, na nyani akianza kulia pewe ndizi, na ngoma ikigonga ni chini kwa chini, chini kwa chini, chini kwa chini.
What do I know? Fighting the fire with fire, always be taking this high. What do I see? Sky is the limit for me, they cannot take that away. Kama kushine na shine na wow, kama kutupa kitupa mbao. Haba na jaza kibaba, hapo vipi, hapo fresh, come on.
I'm feeling it, you feeling it, na na na. I'm feeling it, you feeling it, na na na. Cause we on fire, DJs back up the lighter, music taking me higher. I'm feeling it, you feeling it, I'm feeling it, you feeling it, na na na. I'm feeling it, you feeling it, na na na. Cause we on fire, DJs back up the lighter, music taking me higher. I'm feeling it, you feeling it.
First of all, you look mad as hell. You can't tell the way I'm doing well. You can't tell the way I'm gonna sell. You can't kiss my ass and go to hell. You can't see my life looking like a picture, looking like a bigger, better sister to your Insta. Looking at my time, everything I mind, looking for a sign, $1 million mind. What you want my raps? Oh, many my bus, oh, many collabo, can my snaps, now my hashtags, it can equal chats. Say many me wa mada tena to be one side. First of all, you look mad as hell. You can't tell the way I'm doing well. You can't tell the way I'm gonna sell. You can't kiss my ass and go to hell.
I'm feeling it, you feeling it, na na na. I'm feeling it, you feeling it, na na na. But we on fire, DJs back up the lighter, music taking me higher. I'm feeling it, you feeling it, I'm feeling it, you feeling it, na na na. I'm feeling it, you feeling it, na na na. But we on fire, DJs back up the lighter, music taking me higher. I'm feeling it, you feeling it.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
The time is 5 minutes past 12. This is the top of the hour, and we have just listened to I'm Feeling It by Blinky Bill featuring MDQ and Mayonde. Now, the praises did not end where we were right before the music break. We are still talking about MDQ, and she has been winning in life. Honestly, she has been winning in life. She's been doing the most, and these are just a few events that she has had the honor of gracing. So she has done Sauti za Busara in Zanzibar. She has done the Nyege Nyege festival in Uganda. She obviously has done Blankets and Wine, which happens here in Nairobi, and then Koroga Festival, also based in Nairobi, and then the Africa Novu Festival, which happens here as well. So interestingly enough, MDQ actually pioneered Blankets and Wine in 2008. Most people don't know that. And so this event, in case you've never heard of it, is just it's a mini Coachella, if you will, that really celebrates local artists. And it has been so successful that it has also branched out into Rwanda. And then from Blankets and Wine came the African Novo Festival. Did you know? It's a Blankets and Wine spin-off. So the reason why MDQ cares about festivals is because she says that they are a guaranteed means for audiences and artists to meet, especially female artists. And she says that festivals allow female artists and DJs to discover other female artists, and the performance fees that come from these events really help women earn real income that they can then invest into developing more of their music as well as their products. And this is a quote from her. And she said, I hope to inspire women to listen to themselves, trust their own intuition, and forge their own path. And this is from the Google Arts and Culture article that they have on the feature that they have on MDQ. So aside from the festival, the performances, she really loves the concept of upgrading skills. She is deeply involved in music business training. So if you want to understand how you can make money from the art of music, the music industry, she is your guy. She believes in creating multiple streams of income in order to be sustained. And there was an interesting article that I came across where people were saying, no, she must be one of the richest artists in Kenya, because she pioneered this festival that is quite popular every single year. Everybody expects for it to come around. And she says, no, I'm not a rich girl. I'm just a girl who knows how to manage her finances, and I make enough for what I need. So yeah, that's just something for us to sit with as we're talking about getting our monies, our salaries, and using them wisely. So, what else has she done? In 2019, she started the Perform Music Incubator Program to develop skill sets in the industry. So, it targets artists, publicists, and producers, as well as managers. She also co founded Tight Entertainment, that is TYTE Entertainment Inc., which is a music booking agency. And then in 2020, she received a One Beat Accelerator grant in millions for her Ujuaji podcast, which is something that she has out there as well. And this is a conversation-based podcast between leaders in the community, and it serves to navigate different lands ahead and to just explore concepts of how young people can understand the issues, the modern day issues of business, governance, music, healthcare, labor, people, education, fashion, art, culture, festivals, events, faith, commerce, and economic power. So what this tells me is that she's a very well-rounded, and that there's a space for artists and musicians to actually positively contribute into society, not just with their art, but also outside of, being in the studio and producing. So what is she known for as we conclude our Woman Crush Wednesday? She is known for hits such as Power, which is just a very beautiful a single which she expresses her African culture and roots. And in this particular video, she has herself right in front of the Nairobi Macmillan Library, and then she says this is to reflect the colonial past. So there's always just so many messages in her music. And then it was just a few days before the International Women's Rights when this hit was released. And she said that it is an anthem to strong and courageous women, and that she wants to tell women around the world that they should continue organizing and resisting oppression. They should break molds. They should defy stereotypes, or forge paths, and occupy space. And then finally, we have her latest release, which was an EP released this year, March. So March 2024, she released Monsoon, which is an EP, and she decided to name this as a representation of how Africa is influencing the world in genres such as R&B, pop, and dance. And she says that from the word monsoon, it's a representation of the winds that bring rain and influence weather patterns in the East African religion. So this is basically her saying that, listen, we're here, we're influential, and we're not going anywhere. So here on Sheversations, I just decided to give MDQ her flowers, and she is doing a great job. So I hope that if you can support her music, if you can go out to this festival, support Blankets and Wine, then you know that you're putting money directly into her pocket, and we stand forever. So right after this, we have a Kenyan Message by Muthoni, the drama queen.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Tangu ile siku tukuelect aushikagi simu mentu wezi connect. Nimekuwa nikisaka an appointment, nimekuwa nikisafa disappointment. Siku hizi sukwa naga koteli, sisi maobao wewe lunch hoteli. Panganga na mapoti beli, honey man, watch man. Wanakupangia wakikusalimia, na we uwezi notice hata uwezi dhania. Siku hizi kanti yote venye kuna njaa, kila mtu wanafikiria tu chapa. Don't push me, cause I'm close to that age. I'm trying not to lose my head. Ni kama jungle sometimes mimi uwanda, bona sijaenda under. Ni kama jungle sometimes mimi uwanda, bona sijaenda under. Ni kama jungle sometimes mimi uwanda, bona sijaenda under. Ni kama jungle sometimes mimi uwanda, bona sijaenda under. Na wale wanadoni 1%, si uwaonaga siku ya kulipa rent. Sisi ukuwaga ndani ya predicament, biggest spender government. Unchurch officials, na miracles are also artificial. Congregation wako so superficial, wanataka ule Mungu mu beneficial. Unofficial, kitambulisho, unaeza get in a few days, unaeza get in a few ways, unaeza get bila delays. Nowadays, hakuna madokta na gava ijali juu sisi wagonjwa. Tukienda private tutapay, so ni obvious nani anasay. Don't push me, cause I'm close to that age. I'm trying not to lose my head. Ni kama jungle sometimes mimi uwanda, bona sijaenda under. Ni kama jungle sometimes mimi uwanda, bona sijaenda under. Ni kama jungle sometimes mimi uwanda, bona sijaenda under. Ni kama jungle sometimes mimi uwanda, bona sijaenda under. Hakuna do kama futa ya Warabu, lakini pia do kwa futa si ajabu. Venye kina Sepp Blatter wamepakua do kapuve kwa plata. Na venye sisi upendaga news, na venye sisi upeaga views. My likes, my shares, kuji amuse. No world affairs, my world issues. Siku hizi ni za social media, modern, daily encyclopedia. Kufuata, hawa ma socialite, wakienda naija kusocialite. Don't push me, cause I'm close to that age. I'm trying not to lose my head. Ni kama jungle sometimes mimi uwanda, bona sijaenda under. Ni kama jungle sometimes mimi uwanda, bona sijaenda under. Ni kama jungle sometimes mimi uwanda, bona sijaenda under. Ni kama jungle sometimes mimi uwanda, bona sijaenda under.
Of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
So that was the Kenyan message by Miss MDQ herself. And with that, we are closing off on our Woman Crush Wednesday. We have given her flowers, and I hope that a lot of you are going to continue being inspired by these artists that are opening doors and setting out the paths. Now, at 12:15 today on Sheversations, we are getting into a hard landing. So what are we talking about today? Katiba Week is all about reflecting on the Constitution. And the Constitution tells us about we need to all be in a space to have equal opportunity, equal access, equal everything in terms of if there's this person who has this opportunity that they can take advantage of that could benefit their lives, then everybody should have access to that. More particularly, we're talking about women and land. We're talking about specifically matrimonial land. So what happens in matrimonial property and how does this affect women? Now we have something interesting. We have something interesting called the Matrimonial Property Act, which was first passed sometime in the 1900s, literally a century ago. And then there was something written about it, and then now we have the official one that was passed in 2013. So for most of our mothers and grandmothers, we know that they were not inheriting land, they were not owning land, and even when they were happily married to very prosperous, rich husbands, if that was the narrative, then they still did not get access to any of this. And why did this become an issue? Where there was multiple wives involved, where there was children involved, inheritance became an issue. Where a spouse, the husband, passes away, or in the case of separation or dispute. So this is how inatuhusu as Kenyans today. And looking at this act, which is supported by under the Kenyan Constitution, it says that basically a woman's right to own property, inherit, manage, or dispose of her property has long been under attack from customary practices. So this customary practices only grant women secondary rights to land and property through male relatives. So what does this mean? That unless my husband, my brother, my father, or my son are owning this land, then I cannot own this land. So that is what this Matrimonial Property Act that was passed in 2013 aims to address and aims to fight. So FIDA, which is the Federation of Women Lawyers in Kenya, say that 32% of households in Kenya are headed by women. Yet they hold only 1% of land titles on their own, while 5% own land jointly with men. And if you look at the age-old narrative of women are so many that every man should have 2 or 3 for themselves, that begs the question, if there is this many women heading households, 32%, and yet they, out of this 32%, only 1% of them are holding land titles on their own, and only 5% having joint ownership with men, then what's going on with the rest of them? And why? Why is this actually happening? So what we're going to do is that we need to actually dive into what this Land Act is actually saying. So, we could go into the jargon of it and have the complex language, but instead what we're going to do is that we're going to break this Matrimonial Property Act into layman terms. So who does it pertain to? So if you're married or you're divorced, but you have assets which have been obtained during the marriage, and they are solely in your spouse's name, then this might actually have you might want to listen to this. So in Kenya, the law recognizes that both spouses have equal rights to matrimonial property, regardless of whether their contributions were financial or non-financial, which is very interesting because a lot of people's arguments is that if this woman did not financially contribute in purchasing this land, then she does not deserve it. Well, the Kenyan Constitution is human enough to recognize that contribution isn't always financial. And because of how homes and marriages are traditionally set up, it is not always possible for both parties to contribute equally when it comes to finances towards purchasing something. So it does recognize non-financial contributions. And hence the Matrimonial Property Act in 2013 defines matrimonial property as including the matrimonial home, the household goods and effects, and other movable and immovable property jointly owned and acquired during the marriage. So you entered there on the 15th of September, 1963. So from 19 September 1963, the spoon that you bought, the range that you bought, the 6 pieces of land, and the 3 ties and shirts, and that yellow seat that everybody loves belongs to both parties. And this is in the law. So anything that will be tried or could be tried in court past 2013, even if it pertains to the past, falls under this law. So now we're going to look, in case you don't know, we're going to look at what actually constitutes as matrimonial property, because here on Sheversations would like to educate everybody on, if you're in marriage, what are you actually entitled to? Because this is an issue, and we're going to share some case studies. We're going to share some stories of what has been going on and why this matter pertains to us this particular week. So matrimonial property, if you don't know, includes number one, the home. So your house, everything inside the house. Number two, more specifically, household goods and effects. So yeah, your kitamba, your kitchen, yenye, you need to change as soon as yesterday. All of your underwear, as well as everything that you consider financially viable. Number three, it includes other movable and immovable property jointly owned and acquired during marriage. So this is just a breakdown of what we've said before. And lastly, property that was acquired before the marriage but has been developed by the other spouse. Nikupata na shamba, but who planted those nyanyas? Who has planted all that maize that you've been eating? So ladies, live your best life knowing that you actually have right to these things, and this is actually protected under the Matrimonial Property Act in Kenya. Now, a good question is, do you have a share even if the property isn't in your name? Because now this is where the legalities of it start to really stress a lot of women. So according to this act, yes, even if the property isn't in your name, the law actually recognizes the contributions that have been made that are not just financial. So now we're going to go into what does it actually look like to have non-financial contributions. So, and this is for both parties. This is to educate anybody who actually is pursuing a marital relationship and people who are actually in marriage. This is what the law in Kenya says, so that as you're a man, you can empower the women around you. You can also be empowered with information to understand how these legalities affect you, so that everybody can just get their affairs in order and not end up fighting ugly legal battles. It's not necessary. We've been saying that we have enough problems. We do not need to create problems. We're creating solutions. And the solution being created here today is giving you access to information. So what is non-financial contribution that actually is recognized under this act? Number one, domestic work and home management. So what is domestic work and home management? Everything that most men don't want to do in the house. That's a simple way of putting it. You don't like cleaning dishes? Yeah. That might be the reason why your wife will get all your land, your property. Doing the dishes, cooking, cleaning, managing the house, keeping everything in order, deciding that couch A is not going to sit there, it's going to sit there. Light bulbs are going off, things are falling off of the ceiling and somebody needs to call maintenance. That blocked sink that has been there for 2 years that your wife has been crying about and eventually had to get somebody to fix it. Home management. That is what you hire assistants for in your house. And when it is an external person, you give them a salary because you acknowledge that as actual work. And the Kenyan government recognizes home management as a real job. So if the woman in your life that you have married to, that you're married to, is doing this, then that is actually a non-financial contribution. That is real work, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're taking care of the house, you're raising children, you're managing the daily affairs of the home, of the family, those are valuable contributions. That was just number one. Number two, we have childcare. The time and effort investing in raising children is a significant contribution to the well-being of the family unit. Now tell me why it is considered normal for a woman to be left with the kids. Aside from the fact that we have this beautiful mammary glands, otherwise known as boobs, breasts, that if that's a choice that you make, naturally, most women breastfeed their kids if they can. Nowadays, women are choosing if they want to or not. But aside from that thing of biologically, you kind of have to be the one there. Why is it that I take care of my kids, but when the man that helped sire them, or the man that is, doing this thing with me in life, when he takes care of the children, he's babysitting? Babysitting is one of those jobs that if, in the Western concept of babysitting, you actually, again, pay somebody money if they're going to do this for you. If they're not a family member, you actually pay them money because you recognize that sitting down in the house and making sure that these creatures, these kids who are always trying to die, are staying alive and happy, well-fed, safe, taken care of. If you recognize that that is a real job, why is it that when you do it, it's called babysitting? To mean that you're doing a favor. Why would you be doing your wife a favor by taking care of your children that you're one day going to be very proud of and saying, I raised this one? No, actually, sir, you babysat them. So let's actually do better with the language that we use. Fathers do not babysit their own kids. They don't babysit their own kids. It is literally your job to take care of your child. But seeing that culturally, a lot of childcare work is relegated to the woman, which we understand that's how our culture is, then we are saying that this is a valuable contribution that is a non-financial contribution that actually gives this particular woman the rights to property. Now, the third thing we're going to look into is companionship. Yes, companionship. So a healthy and supportive marriage is essential. If that's marriage is something that you care about, emotional support and companionship are actually contributions. Do you guys know that out here, wababas with money are actually paying women to just rub their heads? Some of your men are going to those barber shops to just be massaged, to just listen, to just have somebody listen to their problems and relax, because companionship is actually a vital contribution into the well-being of a marital relationship. So if you have somebody who just sits there, looks pretty, looks nice, is a trophy wife, let's say she does nothing. Let's say she doesn't do any domestic work. She does zero home management. She does not want kids or just had them, or she really does not even involve herself. As long as she's there keeping you company, the Kenyan Constitution says that she is entitled to her property, which might have been yours, but now it is yours together. So what is yours is ours. It sounds like we're actually joking. It sounds like we're playing games here, but this is what the law is saying. This is what the law is saying. So we're going to continue diving into that while you process. If you have any thoughts on this, if you think that it's completely ridiculous, if you think that it makes sense, that it's fair, if you feel like, no, this is okay and that's not, then let me know. Let me know what you think on all of our platforms on Power Radio, as well as at Caroline Murote. So now we're going to be listening to My Paradise by Miss Karoon.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Is it alright if I leave with you? 'Cause there's nothing I'd rather do. Wanna be sitting right next to you, yeah. As we drive down the avenue. My paradise is here with you. I wanna pour my energy out into you. I'm ready for anything. I'm open. And I'm counting days till I can have your love. There's nothing else that I've been dreaming of. No, there's nothing I can't live without you, baby. There's nothing I would rather do. But you, nothing I would rather do. Yeah. Is it alright if I lay with you? Not dare you to say the truth, yeah. 'Cause right now I'm enjoying the view, yeah. But time flies when it's me and you. My paradise is here with you. I wanna pour my energy out into you. I'm ready for anything. I'm open. And I'm counting days till I can have your love. There's nothing else that I've been dreaming of.
I feel I'm alone again. I've been here before, so I'm really not scared this time. Baby, no, I'm really tryna say what's on my mind. 2 years down the line, then I see your face and all I think is rewind. Oh, baby, what is this you're doing to me? Oh, baby, girl, I think that I could do it again. Don't you tell me that it's over. I need you closer, much closer this time. And don't you tell me that it's over. I need you closer, much closer this time. When I'm thinking about this woman for the very last time, 'cause she swore that she's done with me. Oh, baby, girl, I think that I could do it again. Right, listen, I'm tripping but another mistake. I'm tripping but another mistake. Like, whoa, I really made a song about her, oh. I lost my girl 'cause I did that shit again. And now I'm all alone, out here chilling out with all these hoes. I'm tripping but another mistake. I'm tripping by my shawty code.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are on Sheversations with myself, Miss Caroline Murote. Our hashtags are hashtag Sheversations, hashtag Sheversations with Miss Murote. Guys, there's always going to be so many screaming reminders of how African we are, and that this language that we love to floss with is always going to let us down. So can we just stick to our roots? We should be having these shows in our mother tongues. You understand? And then have captions and translations for everybody else for the sake of inclusivity. Meanwhile, while we continue to struggle with this language, we've been talking about the Marital Property Act. We've been talking about women's access to land, and we're looking at it in light of Katiba Week, so that we can understand our laws and seeing what's going on with the constitution, right? So we had discussed right before the break, we had discussed what actually gives you a share, even if the property is not in your name. And so we were addressing the non-financial efforts that are actually recognized that give you validity and legitimacy in claiming property that was not gotten or acquired by you nor in your name. So the fourth item on this list is the management of family business or property. So if you're a girly who has been actively participating in running the family business or jointly managing owned property, that actually counts. So tuseme mkona kaduka o weni mama mboga mnauzanga waru zenu pale, your cabbage, your whatever it is that you're selling, clothing business, it's an online business. If you've been managing it in the scope of marriage, then that is actually a contribution that is non-financial, because sometimes family business gets tricky because if you guys are not making your profits, then you find that somebody might actually not be paid, or some business is just considered our business. So technically whatever it is that you're earning goes back into the household. But if your particular name is not on the paperwork, as much as you do benefit from the profits of it within the household, then you find that afterwards, that piece of land where you were selling your things, the house where you were living while you were doing your online whatever, once the marriage is dissolved or once the spouse passes away, the man in whose name the property is, then the legalities and the expectations of what should happen just brings so many complicated stories. So management of family business or property actually counts. And then the last item on that note is farm work. So if you contribute to the success of a family farm, it is It is recognized as a form of contribution under the law. So it is important to note that a spouse is not automatically entitled to half the matrimonial property upon divorce. And so what happens is that the court will determine the percentage of contribution made by each spouse and divide the property accordingly. So if you're a man in a marriage and you feel like you have a hawk, you have a voucher of a woman who's really trying to just get away with your property, have your receipts, have information that proves that no, actually, this lady did not even spend time with our kids. She didn't do X, she didn't do Y. And if you're a woman who feels like you're entitled to whatever it is that has been acquired before and during marriage on the basis of these items that we just dived into, then actually come with your receipts and say that, I know that this might not be on paper, but actually this is what I spend my week doing. This is what I spend my month doing. This is what I've spent the past 20 years doing in this marriage, in this relationship. Hence, I deserve at least to be left the house. It's the least you could do. So there's very interesting conversations that happen in the courts of law. My lawyer friends, our learned friends, tell me so much, especially those that practice property law. There is so much drama because if you realize that the whole reason why Africa was colonized was not just resources and manpower, it was also land, predominantly land, that where the land is where the resources come from. Do you understand? Like, you don't have gold. It can't be yours unless you own that land. You don't have oil. It cannot be yours unless you own that land. You do not have crops. You don't have any food if the land does not belong to you or you have no claims to that land. So land equals wealth. If you look at it from that perspective, you cannot be considered wealthy or well-to-do if you do not have where you're going to live, where you're going to put your business, where you're going to plant, where you're going to mine your resources. So land is extremely important, and that's where we're addressing that in light of what do the Kenyan laws say, specifically with regards to matrimonial property, because it involves women, and that's a worthy conversation for our Sheversations. Now, what if the property is in the name of one spouse? So even if the property is in the name of one spouse, either the other spouse may still have a claim to it if they contributed to its acquiring, acquisition, or improvement. So this can be financial or non-financial, and we've already looked at that. And more specifically, these are frequently asked questions. Generally, these are things that happen in our customary spaces traditionally and then addressed in the courts of law. What if I didn't contribute financially? If you didn't contribute financially towards acquiring the matrimonial property, you may, the word is may, still have a claim to it based on your non-financial contributions. The court will consider factors such as your role in managing the household, caring for children, and supporting your spouse's career. So they say that a woman's job is full-time. They say that shifts don't end for women because they say shift one is in the morning, where you need to wake people up, even if you're being woken up, even if you're not the one making breakfast, assuming you have kids, taking care of the kids, getting them out of the house where school is the order of the day. Still, you must manage whoever it is that's doing that. If you have a house manager, you have assistants, you still have to manage those people and supervise and make sure that that work is being done. So if you have receipts of shift one, and then if you work, that's shift two, and then there's the fourth shift of after work or after whatever it is that you do during the day, and then they say that there's a bedroom shift. I'm not married, so I wouldn't know, but I feel like that's a lot of work. I feel like if you work a regular 9 to 5, you are very happy to clock off and go and rest. So if they say in our traditional African context, more particularly in Kenya, that a woman's work is never done, then can we actually recognize that for the women who are actually participating and not use arguments from women who choose to live their best lives and not be enslaved to the standards and then actually, decide to be weird, out here in society by using marriage as a means to earn money and claim property, can we not use those exceptions as the norm? Because the norm is that most women actually heavily participate and the issue is that they normally don't have any way to prove. They don't have any evidence. And if you don't have evidence in the court of law, if you don't have a convicting argument, convincing case, then most of the time the court is not going to rule in your order. So I would advise women out there. I am not a lawyer, but just based on the Kenyan laws and the information of, this breakdowns that we are talking about here, I would say actually have your affairs in order in terms of how do you contribute. Just try and keep those accounts, just try and keep those receipts, not in anticipation for a divorce or anything, but even if your husband loves you to death, he might literally actually just die one day. And these are the things that are going to assist you in keeping the land that you have worked for, the property that you have worked for, the having ownership of the things that you have been contributing towards for the longest time. So that is a lot. This is a lot we are saying here on Sheversations. And before we put a conclusion to this conversation today, we are going to be listening to Nobody Knows by Malosh and then Raha, because truly when it comes to these things, nobody knows.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Marengapi umenipa kisogo, marengapi umenino, marengapi nimejileta kwako, now you don't even open the door. Sina ego ikifikanga kwako, na ndo maana unanifanya mbaya. Mabeste zangu wakiniuliza mi, sina jibu na baki kimya. But nobody knows, feel it goes when we alone in the room and you got nobody covers on. Nobody knows, feeling I feel ukisema unataka kunyona. Zile zote ulizofanya akilini unafanya zipote. Nobody knows, feel it goes when we alone in the room and you got nobody covers on. Nobody knows, feeling I feel when you walk through the door. Nobody knows, feeling I feel. Zile zote ulizofanya akilini unafanya zipote. Nobody knows, feel it goes when we all in the room and you got nobody covers on. Nobody knows, feeling I feel when you walk through the door. Nobody knows. Zile zote ulizofanya akilini unafanya zipote. Nobody knows, feel it goes when we all in the room and you got nobody covers on. Nobody knows this. They can say what they want to, they can say I'm a simp, but I know what I'm feeling about you. And there's nothing that I'd ever change. And I may be insane, maybe the woman that cheats your brain. Stuck in my head, I'm a sucker for pain. Again and again, I keep coming for more. Na nikasi to shake. Zile zote ulizofanya akilini unafanya zipote. Nobody knows, feel it goes when we all in the room and you got nobody covers on. Nobody knows, feeling I feel when you walk through the door. Nobody knows, feeling I feel. Zile zote ulizofanya akilini unafanya zipote. Nobody knows, can you not find? Yeah, you got me falling again and again. Nobody knows, feel it goes when we all in the room and you got nobody covers on. Nobody knows, feeling I feel ukisema unataka kunyona. Zile zote ulizofanya akilini unafanya zipote. Nobody knows, feel it goes when we all in the room and you got nobody covers on. Nobody knows.
Ndio siku tuliota, zile siku tuliomba, zile tulisema siku moja, zile siku tulingoja, zile vitu tumeona, siku ngapi tumeoshwa, mara ngapi tumegongwa, mara ngapi hatukuonwa. But it's over now, sote tume-overcome, blessing ina overrun, baraka zinakaa mkono. Mnataka nidu, nadu kile nadu, dukile utadu.
I'm in the groove, back in the scene, I'm making the move. Been on the low, now living good, leveling up forever mood. Hizo siku tulisota, hizo days back when tukiota. Ona vile sa God amedo, ona vile ja ame come through. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Twende kazi bro, twende kazi yo. Let's go, let's go, let's go. No stopping us, you already know. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go.
Jina yangu naiona ona, na kwa jina la baba nitazidi kuchokoza koza. I mean, nimezoea life kunitwado something, machozi ikikom nitisaya dry gin. Kwani sisi tutangoja mpaka lini, na deni yangu fast na okote sahi. What it is, what it is, what it is, nimekam na kikosi, to excuse to fatali, yanayopita hayatoshi. What it is, what it is, what it is, nimekam na kikosi, to excuse to fatali, yanayopita hayatoshi.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
What it do? It is 10 minutes to 1. So if you started off the day on a low note, you still have half the day to do better. So we are 50 minutes into the hour, and we have been talking about the Matrimonial Property Act. We've been talking about the struggles that women have been having in terms of property, particularly inheritance in marital spaces. So right about now, I'm just going to share a story. This is one of the cases that make this conversation extremely relevant to us as Kenyans right now. So this is from Unbiased the News, which just gives in news about Kenya and what's going on in Kenya. So there's a particular story that was shared by or written by Jackson Okata. And this is what the story says. So there's a lady who lived in a small mud-walled village, in a small mud-walled house with no water, no electricity. She's 65 years old, and her name is Esther Onyango. And how she makes a living is by selling secondhand clothes at a local market in Migori village. And 163 miles outside of Kenya's capital, Nairobi, is where she is situated. So the little money she makes can only get her food. So this is a hand-to-mouth situation. So Esther was a stay-at-home wife who took care of the family land and cattle for 30 years. She lived a good life through farming when she was married. When her husband died, Her stepsons forced her out of her marital home months after the burial. Esther didn't have children. So currently, Esther's legs are swollen because of diabetes and high blood pressure that developed after the death of her husband 4 years ago. And if you're keen, you'd realize that diabetes and high blood pressure are lifestyle diseases, in the sense that if you live a good life, if you're intentional, if you live a stress-free life, chances are that you can actually avoid developing these diseases. There's people who are predisposed to them if somebody in your bloodline have had them, so that you're genetically predisposed. But for most people, they gain them as a result of their lifestyle, meaning that Esther would not have had diabetes, nor would she have had high blood pressure had she not been in this situation. So this conditions developed after the death of her husband 4 years ago. So now she endures leg pain but walks to the market twice a week to make a living and to the hospital to pick up her medication. On a good business day, she can make 1,000 bob. 1,000 Kenyan shillings. She comes from a farming community and without land of her own. Mind you, she was married and she was the one managing her family farm. So without land of her own, she is forced to use the little profits she makes from her business to buy food. So this is what Esther says. My small piece of land was my main source of income because I would grow vegetables, onions, and tomatoes and sell them out. But now with my land and house gone, I have been reduced to a pauper. So you see how drastic the situation is. And Esther is a representation of so many women out here in Kenya, mostly in our rural spaces, even though modern women also do have similar stories, where she was comfortable, she was self-sufficient, she was able to take care of herself and her family. But because the way that we understand the law, or just the lack of reverence for the law, the lack of consideration, this is what happened to her. She became a pauper, and she was a woman who was extremely, extremely hardworking. Now, does Esther or women like Esther deserve to not have land, deserve to have the means of taking care of themselves and others around them? Do they really deserve to be in this kinds of situations? So this is just a reminder that the Matrimonial Property Act exists for women like Esther. So if you know of a different story where there's somebody who was trying to manipulate the law for gain, just know that the law exists for the more women who are not gold diggers, they are not conniving, opportunists. They are actually like Esther. So now the Kenyan Matrimonial Property Act prevents relatives of a deceased man from evicting his widow from her matrimonial house or land. But this law actually continues to be violated. How many times have you heard, oh, this happened to my husband and then they came for my things? They kicked me and my kids out in the middle of the house. In the middle of the night. How many stories did you hear when you were in school, from your places of work, on the news? And this, honestly, I have never met somebody who doesn't know people like that. I can bet you that a majority of Kenyans actually know somebody who lost a husband in one way or another, lost the marriage, and then the wife and the kids were kicked out. So under the Kenyan law, men and women hold equal rights when they are married. So this law allows both parties to administer, to hold, to control, to use and dispose of property, whether movable or immovable. So what does this mean? Anything that has to do with the administration, like to give it out, to manage it, that is administering. To hold, like this is my property and I just want to keep it. To control, to say, oh, this is a farm and this is what is going to happen even in my absence. To use is you being on that land and making use of it. Or to dispose, to say, I'm selling this, I'm giving it away, I'm donating it, I'm keeping it here for these people to use. So this is the law of Kenya, that women and men hold equal rights when they are married. And it also says that they have equal rights to enter into a contract and to sue and be sued in her own name. So if you actually have a land dispute issue and you have land that is not in your name as a woman, even if you are a widow, even if you have, mekosana, you guys are no longer together, you actually have legal rights to sue and to be sued in your own name. So you can hold your own, you can have a legal proceeding under your name individually that does not need to be attached to your spouse. So this is what the law says. In this particular case that we've shared, Esther could not go to court because she did not have money to pursue the formal legal justice system in defense of her inheritance, which is legally hers. So alternatively, she opted to settle for a traditional dispute resolution mechanism, which meant that she had to go to court traditionally in front of a court of 10 men, and 7 of those ruled against Esther, and so Esther did not get anything. So this is a story that we have heard way too many times, and these are stories that are out there widely on the internet. If you'd like to go and do your own research to actually see how relevant this is, then you would understand that the law is not just a suggestion, that as we are reflecting on our constitution, if we are seeing how effective it is or how useless it is, how dormant it is because sometimes our participation in this law is, or lack of participation, is as a result of ignorance. And the reason why here on Power Radio, particularly on Sheversations, we have insisted on having conversations that matter to us is because we are not going to participate in an ignorant Kenya. We have seen that the young people, the new generations, actually care about information. We have seen that during our finance bill protest, that people know how to read the law, to understand the law, and to stand for the law. So we're saying that, aside from those shocking bills that feel like they're choking us, let's actually look at what was put in place in 2010, that is 14 years ago. There are so many laws that we still need to learn about. So wherever it is that you are, whatever it is that you're curious about, that you're interested in, that you're realizing, oh, I don't like police collecting bribes. I don't like the fact that we don't have water in this community, yet I pay taxes. I don't like the fact that all our roads have potholes, they don't have signs, they don't have pedestrian markings. If that's an issue you're having, actually take interest in what does the Constitution say about it, and what policies and acts are supported by the Constitution that I have a right to, and then how can I participate towards the bettering of my nation, towards the bettering of my life, and hopefully other citizens as well. So that has been our show for today. I have had a wonderful time having this conversation with you, and still, I would love to hear your input long past this conversation. All our Sheversations are up on YouTube live. You always find them on our website, but past the show, we put them on YouTube. So if you'd like to reflect on anything discussed on this show, go ahead and pass by YouTube and give Sheversations a watch. So I hope that you understand what the Matrimonial Property Act in Kenya says, so that we no longer have hard landings in Kenya. We want all the girlies to enjoy. We want our gentlemen also to enjoy. So let everybody inform themselves. So we have been shouting out Modoni Drama Queen, and I think then it is just right that we end with Dear Matilde. This is her talking to Girl Child. So Girl Child, this is Dear Matilda by MDQ and Hook and GR.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Dear Matilde, in addition to being yourself, they will expect you to be a good girl, grow into a good woman. As you will soon discover, there is no such thing as a good girl or a good woman. There is, however, such a thing as you. Such a thing is true and forever good. Practice your smile, you will need it. It will be your strength and your mask too. You must learn how to kick, how to punch, how to push. You must work twice as hard, you must be twice as smart. To be a woman is a full-time job for half the pay, and even then, not always. You will discover your inner gangster. You will learn to outrun, outdo. They will label you a bad girl. You will learn to be unmoved. Invent your identity. Remember, necessity is a mother, so as need be, change it. Your body is your home, your throne. Adorn it. And remember this, in whatever form, in whatever shape you may be, in whatever version of reality you find yourself in, you are a queen, the feminine energy of all of creation. You are of life, and you are life itself. Goddess.
Rise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.